Alright, if you're thinking about getting the DYU C3, then you're in the right place, because I think I've spent enough time with this e-bike that I have a really good knowledge base of what this thing is capable of doing and not doing, and we're definitely going to get into it in this video without wasting any time. But before we jump into that, let's talk about a few of the fundamentals that will let you know if this e-bike is the right e-bike for you or not. Let go. So the C3 is a folding e-bike that comes with a powerful 350 watt motor and a 36 volt 7.5 amp lithium ion battery that can give you a max speed of up to 15 miles per hour. So as you can see, the e-bike is really compact and lightweight, and it's decently manageable with some 14-inch wheels. Plus it can fold up and stash away inside your trunk or inside the back seat. I don't know how you roll, but it has some pretty decent hand grips, as you can see right here, with the front brake lever, and you got the little bell right there, and you also have the power switch to power it on and off. So really clicky and tactile. You know when it's on, you know when it's off. And right over here on the right, you have a reflector. You got the battery indicator, so it tells you how much juice you have left. You got a full throttle right here, full twist throttle, and a rear brake lever. And speaking of rear brake lever, around the back right here, you got a brake light. And it's also a light indication to let them know that you're on the road and you're doing something. So whenever you squeeze the brake, it will gonna flash the lights. So whoever is behind you gonna know that you're doing something, so they can be cautious and kind of slow down or whatever it is. You also got a reflector right here. And another thing that I wanted to point out, I'm probably gonna mention it again, but you got some springs right here in the seat, to help keep the butt soft and comfy. But yeah, overall it's a really pretty good, decent bike. We'll come around the front. You got some headlights right here. It's a little loose now because I actually did something to it, but I could tighten it back up. But it's a pretty decent headlights. Whenever you turn it on, I would say it's probably about 450 to about 600 lumens, which is pretty decent. It can light the way. It won't be an extremely bright floodlight. I'm probably going to show you a sample of what it looks like in the night. That's the headlight right there. You got the lock right here to fold the handle down. I'm going to show you that also. And you can put the seat all the way down, and there you go. The 350 watt motor in the rear. Got your brakes, your braking system. And yeah, that's pretty much what that is. Alright, so one of the first things I want you to know about this e-bike is that it is a hardtail, and that simply means that there is no front and rear suspension. So don't go think you're going to be taking this off on the trails or off on the train track or through the sand patch or the gravel or any of that kind of stuff, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a really rough time going through all of that stuff. So just letting you know. However, I do also have to let you know that you do get on the seat, you do get some springs under the seat that provide a really good suspension, so it can take a little bit of the edge off. So the motor has some pretty good torque, so the moment you twist the throttle, it's definitely go time. But there's also no pedal assist levels, so there's no way for you to gauge how much power you get. And probably the only way you're going to do that is if you actually just half twist, quarter twist, or twist it all the way to get the full power, and probably that's the only way you can gauge how much power you get. So this thing can go relatively fast. It's rated for about 15 miles per hour, but to be honest, The most I ever got out of it was about 13, 14 miles with my GPS tracker. And to be completely honest, that is relatively decent. But I think one of the key takeaways that I've noticed while testing this thing is that it will sustain its power, especially on some really long journey, especially if you're not going up an incline or a hill or something like that. It will sustain that. And I think that's pretty good in my opinion. I've taken this thing on a few relatively longer journeys than I should have, and what I've noticed is that this thing never loses power on me. Even some of the time when I'm thinking that the motor is overheating and it's about to give out, it never gives out. It just keeps on going. So for that reason, I'm thinking that this is a really good e-bike. But another thing to note is that it has a relatively smaller battery than most other e-bikes. But interestingly, it has always bring me back home whenever I take it out all the way and bring me back. So for that reason, I think the battery in this one is pretty good, and you probably shouldn't worry about it. The steering wheel has a limited range of motion, so you have to be aware of that when you're taking certain corners. You can't take too much of a sharp corner with this one. And you also have to be aware that when you're taking some corners, you don't want to lean into them too hard, because the wheels, the 14-inch wheels, I don't think it likes when you lean into corners too hard like you do on a motorcycle just to make some corners. So for that reason, I think you just got to beware. So here's a random thought. I don't think this is the e-bike that you would get for an adult. However, if you're an adult like myself and you got this one, then trust me, you're going to be having a lot of fun riding around on this thing, especially whipping around through town and running some errands and all that kind of fun stuff. Ideally, I think this is the perfect fun time, summertime e-bike for the kids, the tweens, the teens, so they can be whipping around all through the neighborhood. They're going to love how fast and nimble this thing is. I'm going in a bit of a headwind right here, so it is slowing down. But other than that, I've never felt like this thing needed a bigger battery. I mean, overall, it always take me out and bring me back home. Oh yeah, before I forget, you get 1 year warranty on parts with this thing. And at the time of shooting this video, you can use the link down in the description and get one of these for about $2.99. And I would say for $2.99, what this thing has to offer, the riding, the performance, I'd say that's good value. And I don't know what else to say. Go get it. DYU C3 spells fun, and if that's what you're into, go buy this one and tell me about all the fun that you have down in the comment section.